But perhaps nowhere is India's commitment to those in peril more on display, actually, than right now in Sri Lanka. The economic catastrophe faced by the Sri Lankan people has many sources: economic mismanagement and corruption, unwise agricultural policies, self-inflicted debt burdens, and a tourism sector crushed by COVID. All of this compounded by food and fuel price pressures that all countries are facing has led the government to default on its debt, has led the price of vegetables to double, the cost of basic food staples like rice and fish to skyrocket, and brought about a stunning lack of fuel at any price. Drivers report waiting in long queues for days sometimes to fill up their tanks. And that is in the fortunate circumstances if they can find fuel at all. On behalf of President Biden and the American people, that our hearts go out to the people of Sri Lanka during this time of great trial with the People's Republic of China, which has been an increasingly eager creditor of Sri Lankan governments since the mid-2000s. Indeed, over the past 2 decades, China became one of Sri Lanka's biggest creditors, offering often opaque loan deals at higher interest rates than other lenders, and financing a raft of headline-grabbing infrastructure projects with often questionable practical use for Sri Lankans, including a massive port that generated little income and was barely used by ships, an equally massive airport dubbed the emptiest in the world because it attracted so few passengers, and the country's tallest tower that was built as a tourist attraction yet has never, unfortunately, opened to the public. Now that economic conditions have soured, Beijing has promised lines of credit and emergency loans. This is critical, since Beijing is estimated to hold at least 15% of Sri Lanka's foreign debt. But calls to provide more significant relief have so far gone unanswered. And the biggest question of all is whether Beijing will restructure debt to the same extent as other bilateral creditors.